This is a project for Canada's 150th birthday in 2017, and it's called True North, the Canadian Songbook. And basically, I've taken 32 iconic Canadian songs and asked arrangers from across the country to reimagine them for orchestra. I've worked with orchestras in the last few years in various pops concerts, and I just thought it would be really beautiful to take some of our most treasured songs and think about a new way to showcase them with orchestra.
It's been a hard day, yeah, it's been a hard year, but I can see hope from here.
Outside of Canada, and it's even inside Canada, there are a lot of people who haven't put together exactly what our cultural heritage is in the area of songwriting, even though there's, everyone knows, Neil Young, yeah, I think he might be Canadian, I mean, part of the agenda for this is to kind of hold it up to the world and say, look what we did.
Canadian orchestras, coast to coast, have had a long history of achievement and accomplishment. They're not always recognized, and I think this project will help put them on the map for a whole generation of listeners and a whole group of listeners that may not be listening currently to orchestras.
Some come from more of a film background, some come from a folk background, some come from a jazz, some come from a big band, some come from a purely pop and rock. Every genre, there is a wealth of music in our country, and to do a project that celebrates that is a really remarkable thing. And that's really the passion behind it, working with such great musicians.
It was very important from the very beginning that it go coast to coast. So the first two orchestras that were actually confirmed were Victoria and St. John's. So that we were there, then it was just connecting the dots through.
Whenever I listened to this music, all I kept thinking about was what it felt like for me to be Canadian, my Canadian values, and the Canadian landscape. For whatever reason, that was always going through my mind. It was like a film that was playing in my head about thinking about our country, and that's really what made me want to do this project.
I have to tell you, of all the tables I've sat at, this is truly one of the most impressive.
It's pretty massive in scope, there's no question.
It's an album that has really something for everyone, and there's a lot of thought behind a project, and a lot of imagination, and a lot of heart behind it.
It's about feeling something, right? That's what music should be about, I think.
This is going to be one of those things that I'm going to look back on and say, wow, this was a pretty special thing to be part of.
I hope that people will, refer to it as a body of work, something to refer to down the road and add other songwriters that they want to cover.
The end product is going to be phenomenal.
But I can see hope from here. I can see hope from here.
If it can evoke in someone, a memory for them or an experience, a connection to home, if it makes them feel proud to be Canadian, then I feel that it's achieved something for that reason.